Hi, this is Jenenne Macklin, and most mornings I go for a walk, or sometimes in the evening, around the Rose Bowl here in Pasadena, California. And I enjoy walking in the mornings because it's nice and crisp and the air is just really fresh. And oftentimes there are insights and information and meditations that I get when I'm walking. So I want to share some of that with you as it comes to me and unfolds, and trust that it will be inspirational for you as you continue on your journey. So I'm just calling them morning meditations or walking meditations. And today, what came to me while I was walking was several months ago, I asked the community to let me know which ways that I could serve you better. What was it that was keeping you awake at night? Where were you feeling that you may have been a little stuck or you were struggling? And the number one response was money. How to attract more money, how to consciously attract more money. So I created the teleseminar, a two-part teleseminar for you, entitled Consciously Creating and Attracting Money into Your Life. And quite a few of you took advantage of that. And I trust that you are able now to elevate your energy and keep your vibration open enough and wide enough to be able to allow more money to flow in. I also trust that you've updated your financial blueprint, which was really the biggest key to allowing more money to flow into your life. But what I was hearing while I was walking is it's great to get the money, but to have the $5,000, the $100,000, or the $500,000 and not have your health, to be struggling with diabetes or heart disease or overweight, to not have yourself in alignment emotionally, to not have yourself in alignment spiritually, it doesn't support having the money that you say that you want. So what I was hearing today in my walking was that it's really a holistic approach, that there's a particular way of us being in all aspects of our life that's going to ultimately support the money that we say we want to see showing up in our life. And this is one of the examples that came to mind is that, okay, so you're able to manifest the $5,000 that you want. You're able to manifest the 10,000 or 100,000 because you can really have, any amount of money you want, right? You know that. There's nothing limiting it. The universe isn't just picking and choosing who can have it. You can have any amount of money you want. So let's just start there. However, there's several things that are coming to mind. I want to make sure that I can get them both to you. If you are not, for example, in alignment with it in your thinking, your thoughts, mentally, then you could easily talk yourself into the money and talk yourself out of the money. Because if your self-esteem or your self-confidence is so low, then you'll question why you have the money. You'll wonder if the money's going to stay. You wonder if you were good enough to have the money, if you're worthy enough for the money. And before you know it, you will have talked yourself into and out of the money. Or, for example, your spirituality, if it's not in alignment, sure, you opened up yourself, you elevated your energy high enough to be able to receive the money and to allow it to flow in. But if you're not clear in every moment of the source of that money, you may begin to think too small, and you may think that the source came from however the money came to you, and not recognize that the money came through you from your source. So it really brought to mind that we want to be in alignment. Our life is like a tabletop, and the legs of our table are our emotional, our physical, our spiritual, and our financial legs. All of those have to be in alignment for our life to flow the way we want it to flow. So then the next thing that I also was aware of is that in some of these areas, it's like we're leaking our energy and we need to plug it. When we allow our thoughts to be contrary to what it is that we want in our life, it's the equivalent of having a cup and we have holes in the cup and you put something in that, then what happens? It all begins to slowly leak out. Where it's the same thing in our lives with our energy. If emotionally, spiritually, financially, and physically, we are not in alignment with what it is that we're asking for, then it's like we're leaking our energy. And so, we need to plug it. We need to plug it emotionally, plug it physically, plug it spiritually, and plug it financially so we're not leaking energy, which ultimately means that anything we pour into that cup, it's going to eventually what? Just flow right out. And depending on how large those places are, those holes are in that cup, it could be the equivalent of we pour it in and it flows right out. So I thought that was wonderful information to begin to, look at and for us to um, take into looking at our lives and how we're living them. Sometimes we'll focus on our energy on one particular thing. We want that, we need to create that, we want to bring that into our lives. And oftentimes we're able to do it. Maybe not to the degree that we would like, but we're able to do it. But what we want to do is we don't only want to bring it into our lives, we want it to flow into our lives. We want to continuously have a flow, like this constant circulation in our lives of health, of wholeness, of abundance, of prosperity, of joy, and of peace. And so we have to make sure that the legs of our life are balanced, that they're not wobbling. You know how you go to the restaurant and it's off balance and you have to put something under there to balance it? Well, when we plug those holes where we have openings because of the thoughts we think, because we're out of alignment, then we ensure that whatever's poured into our cup, we are actually able to sustain it, enjoy it, and also participate in the divine circulation of it. So, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and financially, in all those areas, we want to have balance. We want it to be holistic. We don't just want money to come and money to go. We don't want to be like the people on the lotteries that win money and then 2 or 3 years, or maybe 2 or 3 months, the money's all gone. We want to know who the source is, and we want to always remember that and keep that aware in our presence. We want to hold the thoughts in our mental capacity to say that we are worthy of it, we deserve it, we know that more is going to come, that we are that place in the universe that magnificent things happen. And physically, we want to be physically able to sustain what it is we want to bring into our lives, as well as then financially. So, what does that mean? Well, I think you know what it means. There's certain things that we're not doing that we know we need to be doing, and we usually talk ourselves out of them, give ourselves excuses about how come we don't have to do it. One of the biggest thing, of course, that comes to mind is exercise. That's why I'm out at mornings or in the evening doing my walking. I don't care if you're picking up your grandchildren and, picking them up and down and using them as a weight, or if you're swinging them around, or if you're bike riding with them, or if you just go for a walk, but you know what to do. Your health has to be at the vibrational level that you are wanting to see things manifest in your life so that you can hold it. Extra weight doesn't serve us in any kind of way. There's nothing for us to protect ourselves from. There's no need for us to be concerned or in fear about transparency or what people are going to see about me or any of those kind of things when we're carrying extra weight. We've got to get up. We've got to move. We've got to exercise. It's got to be part of our plan and in our schedule every day. Just like our thoughts must be in alignment, just like our oneness with the presence that created us must be how we live our life, our health also has to be the container, because this physical body is ultimately what is getting us through like the physical aspect of being here on the planet. Sure, energy is always vibrating. Nothing's going to change that. It may slow down in how fast it vibrates. The level that it vibrates may slow down. That's always going to happen. But we need our physical bodies to move from place, to be in meetings, to speak to people, to carry the vision of the life that we have. So our spiritual, our emotional, we want to be in balance emotionally. We really want to feel our feelings. I've been doing a blog lately on, eating our feelings and how come it's difficult for us to feel our feelings. We want to feel our feelings and allow them to have full expression. If we feel them, they really will dissipate, and then we can move on to something else as opposed to avoiding them or ignoring them or medicating them and managing them. So this was my walking meditation today, and I wanted to share that with you. You can have any amount of money that you'd like. You can be, do, and have anything you choose to be, do, and have. Your life is the tabletop, and the legs underneath it is what supports and sustains that magnificent and amazing life you're creating. So make sure that spiritually, that physically, that financially, and that emotionally, you have your legs solid for the life that you want to live. So this is Jenenne Macklin, just stopping by with a morning meditation. Take good care, have a wonderful day, and I'll talk with you again soon.